Hey guys, welcome to the 11th chapter of the Substrate course. Now in this chapter, we'll be executing a forkless upgrade. So with Substrate, you get real-time forkless upgrades, and that's what makes Substrate so special. So when a node is running, you can upgrade it in the runtime itself without having to fork the entire blockchain. Alright, so that's one of the biggest features with Substrate. Now the way to do this is you have to go into the folder where you have compiled your Substrate node, alright, and all you have to do is you have to just start your Substrate node. So I'll go ahead and start it, and my Substrate node is now running, alright. So I would also recommend you compile a new node. So we've done a lot of work with our compiled Substrate node in the previous chapters. If you want, you can clone a new node and keep it for this chapter, because that might just make things simpler. Because the code that you may have added for the node might conflict with this new code that we are about to make changes with. So I've started the node and I've opened up my Polkadot.js Explorer, and here the main thing to note here is that any blocks that are created in my terminal are also shown here, and that's an important detail because that will be important for us to know what's happening when we upgrade the blockchain. Now one thing you have to note, if I zoom in, sometimes what may happen is that your local node has not been selected in the development, so you have to select local node. In my case, it's already selected. That means my Polkadot Explorer is connected with my local node. In case it's not connected, in your case, select local node and then click on switch. Alright, then it will connect to the local node. Now here you will notice that it says node template /100. Okay, and that's the version that's running right now. We have to go to the 101 version that we'll do manually, but it's important for you to remember is that this node has to keep running. So what we're trying to show you here is that even though the node is running, we will make some changes in the code and they will still be available to this running node, right? So that's a runtime forkless upgrade that can only happen with Substrate. That's what makes it very, very special. So to be able to see that in practice, minimize this for now. Alright, open up another terminal and cd into the place where you have compiled that node, right? So in my case it is, right, this is where I've compiled my node. Now here is where I'll start making some changes to the code. So I'll go ahead and open this up. So there is already a window open. I'll just close that and then open up this window instead. And here you will see that we have to go to this folder called runtime and cargo.toml, this file. Alright, and here is where you have to add a dependency. Now I've mentioned a dependency in the chapter 11 Google Doc that I've shared with you, so you just have to copy and paste here, but you also have to note that you have to make sure that this dependency is in a single line and not on multiple lines. Alright, so you come here and you put this on a single line, alright, like this. And there's one more thing that I'd already told you about that you have to make sure that happens here, is that this should be the exact same branch that all your other dependencies are on, right? 9.42 in my case. Make sure it's not something else, otherwise you will get an error and you won't even know how to fix it. Alright, so now after the dependencies, there are the features. In the features, I want to go ahead and add this feature, which is the palette utility feature, right? Utility standard, right? And what I'll do is so that you don't make any typos or any mistakes, go ahead and paste the feature from the Google Doc. Okay, so you have the dependencies here and you have the features here, and both of them basically reflect the same palette utility dependency that you have added. Now you have to go to the runtime lib.rs file, because you want to include that in your actual code, right? The dependency that you added, you have to use it in the actual code, otherwise you'll get errors. So what you'll do is, and obviously we want to update the code and we want to see how that happens in the runtime also. So what we'll do is we will come here, and somewhere around here where all the other implementations are, I will go ahead and add an implementation for palette utility. So you would have all the like for example here, this is a great place to add it. So here you see that there is a palette sudo config. So this is where you will add your other palette utility config for runtime. Alright, so you'll just copy and paste this and add it here. Now you have to find the construct runtime macro, so that it's available to us at runtime. So, and here I will go ahead and add the utility package, which is the palette utility. And now I will so now we have to change this existential deposit, which we are changing basically the balances palette. So it's, you have to find for existential deposit, change the balances palette to reflect 1000 and change the spec version. So just look for the spec version, and this is the one that shows up there on the when I showed you the Explorer, right, the Polkadot Explorer. This is the one that shows there 100. So I told you that we want to go to 101 so that we know that these changes have been made, and that reflects there, right? So these changes have been made. And now that I've changed that, I can save this file and I can close this file, and finally I can go ahead here and compile everything, build everything. So this takes quite some time, okay, because we have added the -- release flag, and that increases the time for the compilation and the build process, because it makes a more compressed and a more optimized build for the node. So it'll take a while, and then after this is built, it'll give us it'll create 3 runtime files for us, and then we'll go through those. So one will be the compact compressed wasm file, the compact wasm file, and just the wasm file. So wasm, compact wasm, and compact compressed wasm, and the compact compressed wasm file is the one that we'll end up needing, and this we will get this in the target/release directory. So let's wait for this to build, and then we can go ahead and add that. You can see this was built. I didn't get any errors, okay, because I was really careful. So all of these steps you have to be very careful, and so that you don't get any errors, and everything works perfectly fine. But if you go to your VS Code again, and you go to this folder called target and release. So you go to target, you go to release, and you go to W build. So the 3 builds you'll find here: compact compressed wasm, compact wasm, and runtime wasm. We need the compact compressed wasm. Okay, so what I'll do is I will open up my explorer.exe here so that I can view it. So if you look at the explorer.exe in my runtime, sorry, not in my runtime, in my target, there is release, there is W build, and there is the compact compressed file, and this is the one that I'll be uploading right now, in just a few minutes, right, to the node. So now you know that we have this node running on the side, right? We have this node running continuously, and it's interacting with our UI, which is the Polkadot.js UI. So we have to tell this running node that, hey, these changes have been made in the blockchain, in the node, and we have to upload those changes here, so that the running node will come to know, okay, these are the changes that have been made, and now I also have to update. So we'll get a runtime Forkless upgrade. Okay, so how do you do that? How do you tell this running node using the UI that, hey, these are the new changes? So we'll do that with the help of the compact compressed wasm file. And to do that, you just go to developer, go to extrinsics. Okay, make sure you select the Alice account, that's the admin account, and then select here sudo, and with sudo you select sudo unchecked wait, and here you select system and select set code with the bracket code. Okay, and then click on file upload, and then you can drag and drop the file here. So in my case, the drag and drop, let me just open up the Explorer once again, just to be 100% sure that I'm uploading the right file. Okay, so just make sure you also have you're also 100% sure of the file that you're uploading. Okay, just make sure you go to the target, release, and W build, and pick up only the compact compressed file, wasm file. So I have my compact compressed wasm file here. Okay, and this is the one I have to upload. Now I'll go and submit transaction, and then I will sign and submit this. Okay, here on the top right, if I see this like a check mark, that means everything happened perfectly, and that's quite a big thing. Okay, so now how do I see that? How do I know everything is okay? I will go to Network and Explorer. Okay, and here on the events, because there were no events before, now there's a new event which is sudo did sudo, and a sudo event just took place. It says OK. If you see this OK, that means everything is working perfectly fine in your case as well. Okay, and and the other way to note that is, if you see here on top, you will see now it's gone away. You will see 101, right? Earlier we were seeing 100, 100. Now we're seeing 101, and that means that the latest code that we had, the changes we had made, are being reflected now. And the other way to verify that is the blocks that are being formed here. So if you see 104 here, right, 105 here, and you see 105 here, that means they're both completely in sync. Like your local node running is in sync with the front end Explorer. Okay, so what we've been able to achieve is we kept a node running, and we went to the node, we made some changes to it, but we uploaded the compress wasm file here to this node. And we didn't even stop it, right? The running node was able to update based on the changes we had made in the code, right? That's a huge thing. With other blockchains, you have to stop, you have to make many more changes, you have to create forks and many more changes. Here, you don't have to do anything, right? So imagine the power that you get with Substrate, because imagine you're running a blockchain and there are many developers who have built applications on top of a blockchain. And now if you have to release new upgrades, just like, you must have heard about how Ethereum has to go through merges, right? Those big merges that happen. With a Substrate chain, you don't have to do all of that. Okay, so it takes away all of that pain. You can do the upgrades on the fly without making any forks in the Substrate, in the blockchain. All right, guys, thank you so much. I hope you're enjoying this course. You've learned a lot till now, actually. A lot of things you've learned how to do with nodes and blockchains with Substrate. In the next video, we will take our learning forward as we have been doing till now. Thank you for watching, and see you.